Hi, I'm Guillermo, and I run a software studio called 7 Sigma, where we build SaaS products for clients. And today, I want to talk about a concept that I hear a lot of people discussing, and I've experienced myself personally, and it is, why can't I get ChatGPT or Claude or some of these AI tools to do what I want? Why they seem to be smart in one way, but then completely retarded when I want them to do something special. And the way I'd like to approach this and the way I want to help you think about it and find a solution is, first of all, I want to explain why it works the way it works. Like, what are they doing really under the hood? And then I want to give you a couple of examples so that you understand clearly, you see clearly why it works the way it works, and then work around to make it work a lot better. Or rather than a workaround, a framework. I want to teach you how you can think about it to make it work for you, not against you. So first off, how do they work? How do AI tools like ChatGPT or Claude work? So they're effectively a a much improved version of a parrot. So if you think about how parrots work, like parrot the animal, is they don't really understand what they're saying when they speak. They just learn to imitate human sounds. So they look like they're speaking, but they don't really know what they're doing. They just see, okay, this is the sound that a human does, so I can copy the sound without really understanding what it means or all the underlying concepts that us as humans understand. So when we're talking about AI, it works in a similar way in that AIs don't really understand the meaning or the real world entities that they talk about. They've just learned through gigantic data sets and a lot of examples. They've just learned to imitate human speech, right? So they effectively take whatever your question or your input is, and they say, okay, what's the like how would a human respond to this question? But not in a way of like, oh, what is the question about? Let me think about an answer. But more so with all the examples that they've been given, how would like someone ask this question? What's the most likely answer to this question in the form of text, in the form of language, right? So to give you a very clear example, so you understand what I mean, it's a clear problem that ChatGPT and all these models have had for a while. And they've kind of solved this problem probably by like either giving them this specific example or making them slightly better at this. But this example serves to illustrate the bigger picture, which they haven't solved. And that's why they can break through the plateau. And the example is this. So if you ask, for example, ChatGPT, the question, like the very simple logic question of like, if I hang a towel out to dry and it takes 1 hour, how long would it take for 2 towels to dry? And then the answer that it used to give is it will take 2 hours, right? And what it's doing is it's just thinking, okay, when humans talk about this problem, they say 1, 1, 2, 2. And then what they're doing is trying to replicate that problem into a new domain, right? However, the answer is obviously not 2, is 1. Like 2 towels, they dry in parallel, right? So that's the limitation. Now, again, this problem has been solved, and if you go ask this to ChatGPT now, it's going to give you the right answer. But if you try to approach more complex problems or more specific problems to your use case, you'll see very clearly that it's doing the same concept. And another example is also very clear, and it applies to generating images as well, because it's trying to do the same reasoning. But if you ask ChatGPT to generate you an image of a clock that's in some specific time, let's say like 6:30, where the two sticks are aligned, then you're probably going to get an image, like you're 9 out of 10 times, you're going to get an image of a clock in, what is it? Is 10 to 2, right? Why? Because that position of the clock is the position of the clock that most images on the internet has. So that's what it's been trained on. So that clearly showcases that the AI doesn't really understand what's going on, doesn't really understand that that's a clock and how clocks work. It's when when humans talk about clocks, or when humans describe a clock, this is what a clock looks like. And they don't know what a clock is. It's like, clock, this image. So hopefully these two examples help illustrate how these things work under the hood. And the summary is, they don't really understand what they're saying. They're just very good at imitating how humans speak and what that pattern is. And you can get very smart, and we'll talk about a couple of strategies to overcome this limitation in just a minute. But I want to discuss what's the practical application of this understanding, and when AI is good, and when the AI has limitations, and again, how we can overcome those to a certain extent, right? So when is this good? Anytime that you don't want AI to be creative at all, do you want, this works completely fine. So for example, if you're talking about factual knowledge, history, programming, any type of endeavor where you don't need a lot of creativity, AI is going to be very, very good, because it's just going to follow the same pattern that it has observed in the training data, right? Which is effectively the information out available in the internet. So you're going to get very factual information. Now, when we get into trouble is when when you're trying to use ChatGPT, for example, to troubleshoot a problem. Maybe you're trying to troubleshoot a problem in your business, or you're trying to have ChatGPT come up with creative ideas, like how to schedule social media posts, how to troubleshoot your business, how to do something. If you only give it that information, it's going to 100% follow the cookie cutter pattern that it has been trained on, right? So again, that doesn't mean that it's going to be correct, but it's going to look correct by the shape of it, right? So an example of where ChatGPT is going to have some limitations is, for example, if you're trying to come up with an offer for your business and you say, okay, how should I structure my offer? You're gonna get an answer that's the most cookie cutter offer ever. Can't come up with an example, but that's what it's going to do, and you're not going to get anything very, very specific. So the better prompt is, do you want to infuse ChatGPT with examples of how you want to do it? So an example is, a better prompt would be, how should I structure my offer? Use frameworks from X and Y, compare them together, and give me your conclusion, right? So now you're forcing it to say, it's not what's the most likely response to how should I structure my offer, but it's going to combine or infuse in a way all those elements to give you a much more comprehensive answer. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but the more information you can give it to understand how do you want the answer process and what elements you want in your output, you need to prepare that in your input. And the most extreme example that we've seen on this is a project that we're working on, where we're working on a product, a SaaS product that contains an AI agent that contains, the prompt has around 2,000 words, many paragraphs that contain a lot of frameworks. And the idea is, it's trying to replace professionals in a very cognitively demanding area. And we're effectively trying to infuse all these elements out in the prompt, so that the response contains all of this, and it works very, very well. So this is how I would think about prompts, and this is how we approach the entire problem of prompt engineering. Now, if you want me to make another video going more in depth about prompt engineering, examples, structures, let me know. Or if you want to understand a little bit, maybe conceptually, but how AI and LLMs work, it's relatively straightforward to explain with very simple math. So let me know. Otherwise, if you have any other comments, also let me know as well, and I will catch you next time.